So
Yes.
you also started. You also mentioned that you started the Muslim social as sorry, MSN. What is
Yeah,
MSN?
MSN.
Yeah.
Okay, MSN is which is the full name is Multicultural Social Network. What happened? You see, I've been in this line. I've been involved with the community services for more than 10 years, and I deal with the wider community as well as multicultural organizations. So I'm quite active in this field. Then I decided early this year to set up my own entity, private entity called Multicultural Social Network. And the whole reason was, as you may recall, we had a very severe bushfire somewhere in January of this year.
Yes, I heard.
And it was, yeah, it was terrible, terrible. So then I decided to mobilize my contacts from various multicultural organizations, the government department, the police force. So what I did, I used my umbrella, MSN umbrella, to invite them all to the masjid. I said, look here, we need to do something for our fellow brothers and sisters in Sydney and Melbourne. I mean, it's happened in New South Wales, in Victoria. So we all got together. Then we had I said, look, let's have a telethon. And that was the first time. And we raised some amount of money. And myself and some of my volunteers, we flew to Sydney, and then we bought all the stuffs. And from there, we drove all the way to the affected area. It took about 16 hours of driving. There was a place called Mogo, which was severely affected. And, you know, we took with us power generators, burners, the food stuff, quite a number of things. So they really appreciated that we came all the way from Gold Coast, you know, to support them. So that's what the whole idea was, to help our fellow mankind, our fellow brothers and sisters. And that's the whole concept about MSN. And after that, for the last 6 months, we have been quite busy looking after about 200 international students who are stranded in the Gold Coast due to COVID. As you know, many of these students are fairly young. They're late teens or early 20s. They left their families, they've come all the way here, and they were stranded. They was panicking at the beginning of the corona crisis or COVID-19. So, and strange, I still remember the day was 1st of April. I received a call from one of these educational institution, and the students from South America, and said, look, we have seen your cooking show. Can you help us with the food? I said, well, I said, no problem. How many of you? I said, there are about 8 of us. I said, okay. So on the way, I took some sausages, about 100 sausages. I mean, it's all documented. If you visit my Facebook, Multicultural Social Network, you can see all the videos. So went there, and they really appreciated it, and was so panicking. So what we told them is, don't worry about the food. We'll take care of the food. So for next 6 months, we provided them with food hampers. So every Thursday, we'll collect food from different organizations, and we'll pack them up and distribute to these students. And on Saturdays, I personally, with some volunteers, will cook hot meals. So that became part of my show too. So I would cook for about 150, 200 students every Saturday. And also, again, you can see in my shows how I cook. And the best episode was chicken biryani. People loved it.
That's my favorite.
There was almost 20,000 views. Yes.
Yeah.
So the whole idea is, so they're really appreciative. And as you know, the government, they didn't get the government support, you see. So it's all through private donations. So thankfully, we couldn't do on our own. So we had various organizations, Muslims and non-Muslim organizations, who assisted us, because we never collect any cash or money. We asked them to give us foodstuff, hygiene products, clothing, all those stuff. So like we have 2 halal butchers in the Gold Coast. So both took turn to supply weekly meats to us, like beef, lamb, chicken. So they're all very kind enough to support the organization. So that's how the whole thing started, and it's still going on. But thank Allah, to our last month, most of them got their jobs back, and they're self-sufficient now. And now we are looking after some families who are in need.
Mashallah, mashallah. That's interesting. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
you see, yeah. So Muaz, the people ask me, why would you help? Because there are 200 students, 90% of them are non-Muslims.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
80 of them from South American countries, 70 from the Philippines, 50 from Indonesia, and in between. So I said, look here, my motto always been, no matter where you come from, what language you speak, or what your religious beliefs are, we are all brothers and sisters in humanity. So we should love, respect each other, and be compassionate to each other. That's been my slogan and motto from the beginning of MSN. So that's what we've been working on.
MashaAllah, I think that's a good initiative which shows the exemplary that how should Muslims should be, instead of, you know, a lot of us, you know, we learn from the Deen, we learn from Islam, that, you know,
Yes.
helping people's around us. But at the end of the day, it's about what are the practical things that we actually do
That's right.
engage the people around us. And some, you know, even some of us, I understand when I was in the UK, when people
Yes.
said, oh, helping other people, they said, helping other Muslims. But in the end, when, you know, you as a Muslim, you should actually engage with other non-Muslim as well.
That's right. That's right.
You should see the barrier. You should see
Yes.
them as a fellow human beings. So
Yes.
I understand that you, apart from the social works, you know, you founded the MSN, which is, mashallah, I've seen you engage with the Philippines community, you engage
Yes.
with the Australian communities, you engage more
Yes.
South American, Latin, whatever it is, too much to
Yes.
mention. And you also a trustee, a community leader in your local mosque.